As Max Verstappen cruised to his 40th career victory on Sunday in Barcelona, he was so far ahead of the pack he might as well have been running a separate Spanish Grand Prix. His nearest rival finished 24 seconds adrift, and his fifth win of 2023 sees him with a 53-point championship lead. And despite numerous teams bringing upgrades to Barcelona, Red Bull still dominates out in front, now holding a 135-point championship lead just 7 races in. The 2023 Spanish Grand Prix was typical for Barcelona and provided some okay action for race fans. But on a Sunday in which another racing series was set to take stage later on in the day, the comments from a former IndyCar champion are not just timely, but also quite relevant to the status of Formula One. So in today's video, we're going to look at what was said, who said it, and if there is any truth to the comments. While F1 hit the track in Barcelona, IndyCar was also getting ready for their own race around the streets of Detroit. It's normal for IndyCar and Formula One to cross paths during their respective weekends, but comments from a former IndyCar champion sparked a lot of debate amongst racing fans. Two-time IndyCar champion Will Power believes IndyCar deserves respect as the world's most difficult single-seater racing series. It's so tough, an amazing field, the toughest field in the world, and people need to know it, especially compared to Formula One, Power said. Formula One's a joke as far as competition, but not as far as drivers. They have amazing drivers, and I feel sorry for them that they don't get to experience the satisfaction we do with our racing because that is the top level of open-wheel motorsport. Power went on to say that F1 would be better suited to adopt IndyCar's formula and that it would be far better suited for drivers and fans. Now, the IndyCar versus F1 debate has always been an interesting topic, but this season especially so, considering the runaway championship in F1. Even if you just compare the races for both series on this past Sunday, many would vote IndyCar's Detroit Grand Prix as most exciting. The debut of a new street circuit in Detroit led to a chaotic race and multiple restarts that was eventually won by Alex Palou, only by a margin of 1.18 seconds. Compare that to Verstappen's winning margin of 24 seconds, and you can start to understand the comments from Will Power. But before we look at whether the comments from Will Power are correct or not, let's look at some of the key differences between the two racing series. This could be a whole video on its own, so we'll do a simple comparison of the two racing series. The primary differences are in the rule sets. F1 teams have almost complete autonomy to build their cars from scratch into the engineering marvels that they are. IndyCar, on the other hand, is what is known as a spec series. That means the cars have a large degree of standardization. IndyCar teams all use the Dallara DW12 chassis, which is in its 12th season. The development of the car largely has been maximized. This in turn puts more emphasis on driver skill, amongst other things, in order to be able to win and contend for championships. Other differences include IndyCar fielding 27 full-time drivers with 12 teams, a 17-race calendar, and only 2 engine manufacturers. There are also a ton of other differences, including IndyCar racing on ovals, and of course the technical differences between the cars, which can get quite complicated. If you ask a driver who recently raced in both series, Romain Grosjean highlighted some key differences in the driving styles and also the racing styles of F1 and IndyCar. There is a lot of cross-pollination between F1 and IndyCar despite their differences. You have former F1 drivers in IndyCar at the moment, and you have F1 drivers who have dipped their toes in IndyCar. You even have the current IndyCar champion who is a test driver for McLaren. Palou described IndyCar as pure racing as you have the chance to win every weekend, but he said that is not the case in Formula One. I don't think the beauty of F1 is in the race itself, Palou said. I'd say the beauty is more the development that they have and everything around the races, and that they go to different places. But when we talk about the pure spectacle, you cannot get better than IndyCar. So let's get back to Will Power's initial comments. Is F1 really a joke of a competition? This season, Formula 1 has had 7 races, with Verstappen winning 5 of them and Red Bull winning all of them. Red Bull's average advantage over the next best car in 2023 has been 22.6 seconds, and that includes the safety car finish at the Australian Grand Prix. Over in Indy, they've equally had 7 races so far, but with 5 different drivers winning and 3 different teams winning races. Certainly in 2023, you could say the competition in F1 has been a bit of a joke, as no one seems close to touching Red Bull. Overall though, F1 competition is far from a joke as Power had claimed. On average, IndyCar might be more exciting, but Formula 1 will always be the premier racing category. Its popularity will never be touched by IndyCar, and all single-seater drivers will aspire to drive in F1. With that being said, IndyCar is an elite series of its own with fantastic drivers and great racing. Its formula is entertaining, but also competitive, and it's something that F1 fans would dream for in Formula 1. F1 has long been more of a team series where the driver, albeit important, has taken a bit of a back seat to the importance of the car. How would a driver like Verstappen or Hamilton fare in IndyCar? And would IndyCar stars be able to challenge F1's top class? An interesting debate nonetheless can continue until the next race in both racing series. But for now, we can appreciate the challenge and skills of both Formula 1 and IndyCar while also being a fan of 2 great racing categories. So what do you think of Power's comments, and is IndyCar's competition truly better than F1? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a like, share it, and also hit that subscribe button.